Welcome to the Mustard Seed Chronicles YouTube channel. My name is Alfie Vente. This channel is a platform for myself to pass on knowledge that I've gained through my life experience, my business experience, through my faith, and also my lay perspective on biblical readings. The biblical readings have really helped me in terms of navigating through life and navigating through business, and I'm hoping to pass on this knowledge that I've gained. Today, I want to talk about 4 critical errors I made starting our business. Now, these are 4 critical errors I learned from. I learned they're terrible at the time, but looking back, I'm thinking that was the best thing that could have happened, as crazy as that may sound. But first, before I go into those critical errors, please like, share, subscribe, pass this on to those that you feel this might be helpful for, and hit that notification button for the latest videos. We put out 1 to 2 videos a week. That may be helpful for you. So a bit of a background. My wife Sandra and I own Vente Pain Relief Clinic, and we are located at King and Bay in the financial district in Toronto. We've been there for 7 years at that location. Now before that, about maybe 15, 17, maybe a little further back, 17 years ago or so, we opened up the first version of Vente Pain Relief Clinic at an area in Toronto called the Beaches. The Beaches is a very affluent area, and I made a number of mistakes. Right now we're talking about 4, but I probably made 12 to 20 mistakes, maybe even more. And these were critical to the success of our business. In fact, because I failed to do certain things or I ignored certain things, the business pretty much tanked after 6 months. But now we're here. We've been at the King and Bay location for 7 years, and we've been fairly successful there. So now let's go on with the 4 critical errors. This is important. Number 1, make sure you do this. I did minimal research. Don't do that part. I did minimal research on the location I chose. What I mean is I do the research. So I kind of said to myself, well, the Beaches sounds like a very good location. I think I'll go there. The Beaches, as I mentioned before, is an affluent area. But I didn't do enough research on the location. To give you an example, about a few months later, after we opened, I found out that there was actually about 21 massage therapists around that area in close proximity. 21. So just imagine, there was a number of them that were established already. In fact, one of them down the street was actually one of my instructors. So that was kind of funny when I found out that, my instructor's down the street. So just imagine, I'm going in a newbie, and I'm competing against 21 plus those that have been established. I did not do that. I found out later on. The other thing too that I did in terms of the location and not doing the research enough is that even though the area was a great location, the section I was in was not exactly the best because what I was hoping for was a lot of foot traffic. And in fact, that area that we were in, because we were near the end of a particular street, people were entering and exiting and not necessarily doing a lot of walking. We needed to be further in, further actually west on the street we were in to get that foot traffic. So that's number 1. Make sure you do your research on the location. Number 2. I failed to do a proper business plan. You have to do this. Every good business person writes it down on paper. They don't fly by, the seat of their pants. It's just not possible. Like the one thing that I was relying on more was on hope. Now, that is not really real world. Some people do this. But one of the things that I've realized, and I've come to a conclusion, and it says this in the Bible readings, is that faith is about belief and also about action. It's not just about hope, right? So a critical error I made was that I just hoped that this would work. I didn't write it down on paper. When you write things down on paper or type it out on the computer, you can actually visually see the plan. It goes into your head. You have a thing set forward for you to follow. Mind you, it's a thing that can be very flexible. You're not limited to just sort of that one direction. Sometimes, for example, the pandemic, you might have to switch plans a little bit. In fact, the business plans I do, I switch every once in a while, right? I change things around. But at least I'm going a certain direction. Make sure you do that. Number 3 follows with actually number 2. In that because I failed to do a proper business plan, I was severely underfunded for the project. I just said in my immature head that, you know what, this money is enough. But the reality is that I didn't do, my expenses. I didn't project any like revenue, cash flow, whatever. Like I didn't look at budgets, so on and so forth. So you can see how this could go like wrong, particularly those that have been in business for a while. Like making this critical error of severely underfunding yourself can make that, you might think in your head, oh, you know what, this should last for a year. Even though like you may not have written it down. It's never guaranteed though. Obviously, it's never guaranteed with the funding because things do happen. But you want it so that you are close to becoming more successful than failing, right? So make sure that you do the business plan and you actually take a look at the funding that you have, taking a look at your cash flow so that it can help you in terms of projecting how your business will do in the next few months. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in future videos. So stay tuned for that. Finally, number 4. Again, these mistakes are not limited to just 4. I've done a number of them. I'll probably do more. I will do more videos in regards to some of the mistakes I made. 4. This sounds pretty funny, but I didn't listen to my mother. Now, I say that because my mother told me, Alf, you basically just came out of school. You need more experience. You should wait a bit before you open something up. I totally ignored her. Again, in my immature mind, I said to myself, this is going to work regardless. I'm going to make it work. Without a game plan, without anything, a lot of immaturity on my part. But realize that, there are people that know more than you, that know you very well, right? So my mom knew, I'm pretty sure she knew that I was very immature at the time. I was very gung-ho. I was more of a person that was headstrong and never really thought things through properly. And that was probably the case. And her fear was that, this would not be successful. And she was right. Mind you, though, you want to take this with all the other information that you have. So there are people that are wrong too. They could tell you they have their own. They might have their own motivations for telling you that not to do certain things. But honestly, like you take this with all the information they have, that the business plan, research on the location. And you take that and you look at that information and see how useful it is for you. Because I'm pretty sure there are people out there that have more experience than you, and they can really, really, really help you in terms of giving you certain information. So those are my 4 at the current moment that I will pass on. Right? By the way, for number 4, do not take offense to anybody telling you that you shouldn't do it, or pick out like what's wrong with your business, this and that. Never take that to offense, right? Take that objectively and sort of look at it again from a bigger perspective, because some of that information that you take offense to may actually be good information for yourself. So those are my 4. Remember again to please like, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button for our future videos. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at the Mustard Seed Chronicles. We have certain postings out there to help you with, again, life and business. I hope to see you soon, but before I go, I want to send you guys a prayer. Lord, you are the great, wonderful God, Lord, King of Kings. Thank you for allowing me to use this platform to pass on the knowledge I've gained from the stumbling blocks that I've received that have made me stronger. Pray for those that are going through difficulty at this moment or trying to figure out whether they want to start their own business. Help them, give them wisdom, give them insight, give them strength and courage. We know that sometimes there's negative talk, personal negative talk, and that can be a detriment. Please guide people, give them counsel in regards to their endeavors. I pray in your name. Amen.